Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
Some people do stupid things. Don't do stupid things. You are about to hear my opinion. Do your own research.
Guys, just look at the difference in what happens here. Yeah, real bread is supposed to fall apart in water. I mean, imagine putting whatever this is in your stomach every single day. Probably not good. Just look at the number of synthetic ingredients in our store-bought bread. This is not food. It's just insanity. Compare that to a bread recipe from 1920, which contains just 6 ingredients: yeast, water, sugar, vegetable oil, flour, and salt. That's it. Okay, recent research is suggesting that eating sliced white bread can be as dangerous for your health as smoking. Quote, studies show that just like tobacco, industrial sliced bread is habit-forming and also so harmful to health that it contributes hugely to modern epidemics of preventable killers such as cardiovascular disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. Yeah, this is probably not an accident. So if you're a bread person like me, and I love bread, get yourself one of these, totally worth it, and stop giving your money to big food.
So one of the really cool things about being here is the Amish markets. We have one that we've grown fond of that has sourdough bread. Now, it's not the sourdough bread that I grew up with, the San Francisco style that has the crust and everything, because that doesn't exist out here for I don't know why. And growing up, that was kind of a staple in our household, and my son and my husband absolutely love it, but it's not here. But they do have the sourdough bread at the Amish market, and it only has 5 or 6 ingredients. None of this extra crap. So even though I don't eat bread, I can feel comforted knowing that I'm not feeding them crap. Which is pretty cool, because that stuff's gross.
And on a more serious note, 2.6 million golden eggs have been found at the bottom of the ocean just off the coast of Canada. Here's a brief picture of what ScienceSensitive.com are covering on one of their breaking stories and about the environment. Now, some obvious questions spring to mind. What are they made of? Well, apparently, we don't know. Because they don't match any known species, they're not mineral-based, so we're beginning to wonder where they've come from, like. So bearing in mind we don't know where they've come from, bearing in mind we don't know what they are, bearing in mind you maybe already nicked a couple to do tests on and realised, hey, they're not gold, can we leave them alone? Can the divers that took the couple of eggs away from the big sack of eggs, can you go and put them back? Because the last thing that we need is mama coming to look for her babies now, isn't it? Because if they're eggs, it's clear it's going to have a mama. The fact it was left near hydrothermal vents really enforces the fact mama's trying to leave them somewhere warm so they can hatch. So, I think it's best we all leave Mother Nature alone.
Thank you so much to Big Bang for sharing this information on Facebook. It's not the same clip that he posted, but it's the same information that made my conspiracy brain do conspiracy brain things. And clearly I'm not the only one.
So scientists have found 2.6 million mysterious eggs underneath a underwater volcano. Literally, this is what they look like. A whole bunch of eggs. They don't know where the eggs come from, but we know the animals that do lay eggs. And so a lot of people are assuming, because they're kind of big, they're not really small eggs, a lot of people are assuming that it is Leviathan. That Leviathan has laid all these eggs, and there's going to be 2.6 million Leviathan that hatch from these eggs and take over the world. That's what a lot of people are thinking. If I'm being honest, I do think it's something pretty crazy. I just want to know what animal is laying 2.6 million eggs. Is it Leviathan from the Bible? Or is it a dragon? Because I've seen a lot of people saying that it's probably a dragon. It's near a volcano and it's underwater. Could it be a Leviathan breathing, fire breathing dragon? I don't think any of those things are beyond a realm of possibilities, considering the fact that everything and anything has been happening, and it's kind of weird what our world has been seeing lately. But what are these 2.6 million eggs? What creature could be inside of those eggs? It does not make sense to me.
There were also people speculating that they might be alien eggs. And like the aliens in the ocean just went there to put their alien eggs there to incubate them and everything. Yeah, how crazy is that? So dragon, Leviathan, alien eggs. the reality isn't that spectacular.
In the depths of the Pacific Ocean, off the coast of Vancouver Island, scientists have made a groundbreaking discovery that has left the marine biology community astounded. A seemingly dormant underwater volcano has been found to harbor a vast nursery of giant eggs, challenging our understanding of deep-sea ecosystems. This underwater volcano, previously thought to be inactive, is teeming with life. Researchers have identified that the volcano is still active, emitting mineral-rich, hot water that creates an ideal environment for various marine species. Among the most remarkable findings is the presence of an unprecedented number of white skate ray eggs, with cases nearly 20 inches long. These egg cases, often referred to as mermaids' purses, showcase a unique reproductive strategy adapted to the harsh conditions of the deep sea.
Turns out they belong to this guy, the Pacific white skate. And, well, this gal, I guess, they decided that this area is perfect for incubating their eggs. So that's where they go to put their eggs so they can grow. And we found them, and we turned it into something crazy. Sometimes it's not that crazy. Although it would have been fun if they were alien eggs, right? Come on.
What's that? Oh, animals are fleeing Yellowstone at a rapid rate? Tell me more. Yeah, there's been news story after news story popping up about animals leaving and fleeing Yellowstone. At first, people were saying, oh, it's just they're migrating. They need to get to a new area for a food supply. I don't think so. They are fleeing with purpose. This isn't about food supply, okay? If you see some of the videos, in fact, some of the grizzly bears are with each other, leaving in herds, which is very uncommon because grizzly bears don't typically go around in packs or stick with each other. In fact, the mother bears typically will eventually abandon their baby grizzlies. So what are we doing? Are these animals trying to warn us and tell us about a potential catastrophic event, such as, I don't know, a supervolcano perhaps? Okay, oh goody.
Ever since I was young, that's always been a fear of mine because I saw this, I don't know, this movie about the Yellowstone caldera and what would happen if it decided to wake up and do the caldera things. And it would be, you know, a massive devastation. And it could potentially, you know, wipe out a lot of life on this planet. So if these animals are like, hey, we need to get out of here, maybe they know something.
Be careful about what you say in front of the television. Try not to have any sensitive conversations in your living room because the TV is going to be recording what you say and sending that data off to another company.
And once inside, it doesn't stop at the TV. Hackers have used smart TVs as an entry point to tap into home Wi-Fi networks, then move on to more sensitive devices like smartphones, your laptop, or even baby monitors.
So what this means is I could be sitting here watching TV from my bedroom, and you could be anywhere in the world looking at this image of me watching.
Yep. You've done everything right. Strong passwords, privacy settings, even tape over your webcam. You're careful with your phone and laptop, but there's one device you probably never worried about. The smart TV sitting quietly in your living room. It plays your favorite shows, responds to your voice, and looks harmless, but behind that screen, it might be watching your back. In 2019, the FBI warned that smart TVs can be hijacked by hackers and even used to spy through built-in cameras and microphones. So if the threat is sitting right there in your home, the question is, how much of your life is being seen and sold without you knowing it?
Really scary stuff when it comes to these smart TVs. If you just bought a smart TV, the FBI is also issuing a warning over those devices.
Every smartphone, every phone at all, is constantly connected to the nearest cellular tower. Every phone, even when the screen is off, you think it's doing nothing, you can't see it because radio frequency emissions are invisible. It's screaming in the air, saying, here I am, here I am. The movements of your phone are the movements of you as a person, and those are often quite uniquely identifying. It goes to your home, it goes to your workplace. This means is that whenever you're carrying a phone, whenever the phone is turned on, there's a record of your presence at that place that is being made and created by companies.
Even people like Mark Zuckerberg and former Google engineers physically cover their cameras and mics. It's not an overreaction, it's basic protection.
You ever stop to think about the prices of a new TV? It's relatively cheap. I remember several years ago it used to be quite expensive to buy a new TV, and now they're like a dime a dozen. Not literally, of course, but they are very, very cheap. And they're embedded with all this wonderful technology to spy on you. How easy is it for them to get this technology into your home? Willingly. You just buy it because it's cheap. Put it in your home. Now they're watching you. That's also why they're giving out free phones. They want to make sure everybody has a phone. Because they want to know where you are, what you're talking about, what you're doing at all times.
Hey, Crypto Bros, have you checked your account lately? Because things just got real. President Donald J. Trump signed the Genius Act into law, and it's a game changer for digital assets. This bill puts America in the driver's seat of the global crypto revolution. It protects consumers, secures the U.S. dollar dominance, and makes the U.S. the safest and smartest place to invest in stablecoins. Here's what it does. It creates the first ever federal rules for stablecoins, 100% backed by cash or short-term treasuries, with full transparency every month. No more shady claims or fake government-backed tokens. And if a stablecoin issuer goes under, you, the holder, get paid first. It also locks stablecoin issuers into the Bank Secrecy Act, so they can't be used for money laundering, sanctions evasion, or criminal schemes. They have to be able to freeze or burn tokens when legally required. This isn't just crypto hype. It's a serious financial infrastructure play that boosts demand for U.S. treasuries and reinforces the dollar as the global reserve currency. Trump promised to make America the crypto capital of the world, and with the Genius Act, he just delivered. So how's your crypto account doing? A lot of people are very happy today.
I have no crypto. I know people that do, and I haven't heard anything from them if they're super happy about it or not. Do you have crypto? Are you super happy? Let me know in the comments. While you're there, do me a favor, hit that like button, consider subscribing. But let's talk about this a little bit better. Remember we were talking about the Epstein distraction? What if that whole Epstein thing was a distraction for this? Because what happens? What happens when we go all crypto and digital? They start paying attention to what you're doing, where you're spending your money, how you're spending your money, and then a new world order type thing, right? Just thinking. But what if at the same time, this is a distraction to make us stop paying attention to the Epstein thing?
Now we know why they rolled out the whole Epstein episode, so that no one would bat an eye about this Genius Act. It is absolutely nuts. Alright, so the whole no central bank digital currency, well, no shit, because everybody now gets their stable coin, from the president to BlackRock. Everybody. It'll be just monitored by the Fed. Ah!
Dun, dun, dun! I said it. I said it before other people said it. Although I'm sure other people said it before I said it and I just didn't know, but I said it before I knew other people had said it. That's what's happening.
XRP this, Bitcoin that, ADA, whatever. Guys, what if this cryptocurrency is really just going to be leading people to the mark of the beast? Disclaimer, this is just a thought. Don't run with it. Just think about it. I made a video about this over a year ago. It's World Organization 2020. The patent came out in 2020 by Microsoft. 060606 cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Essentially what I read in the first video, this is all in the document. I might try to find it and pin it, or I may just remake another video, but basically in this document, they have a plan for people to get paid according to their body activity. That's all I'm going to say for now on this video, because the censorship has been getting pretty strong. But like I said, I may speak about it more, or just scroll through the page and try to find it. I'll try to pin it again maybe. I say this as someone who does believe in the good potential for crypto, but I can see the other side, the other potential of what it could be. The bad potential, where imagine you have all of these people who have these big bags in crypto, and they think that they're going to have all this wealth in the coming years. But the only way you can get access to that wealth is if you get some sort of mark, some sort of chip. Will you be able to turn down millions of dollars When you thought that it was all yours, but now all of a sudden there's this new legislation to where you have to get this type of chip to access it. Body activity data. You got to read this, yo. It's just a thought, because if you watch the markets, you know a lot of money has been pouring into crypto over these past couple of days, and we're seeing a shift happen. But guys, I think it's biblical, because what we're seeing happen in the world, Jesus told us about. The mark of the beast isn't just going to come out of nowhere. It's going to come because it's been getting built upon and built upon. And guys, time is out. Time is running out, and Jesus is coming soon.
I love getting different perspectives of these, real life situations that are happening. A lot of people believe that this is the beginning of the end. Although there are a lot of situations where people have believed that it's the beginning of the end, and the end hasn't happened yet. But this one in particular, because it has that 060606 in it, the mark of the beast, it's terrifying. Personally, I just don't want the government knowing everything that I decide to do. Even though they do, because now we have those chips in our credit cards, our debit cards. They know what we're spending our money on, and they know where we go to work because we file our taxes. They know how much money we make and how much money we put back into the economy. So it's kind of not very different, although it's a little bit more centralized now, if you have the crypto stuff.
I remember talking to an Australian diplomat at one point about this break between the US and China, and said, both sides are going to say, whose team are you on? And he said, our job is to make sure the question never arises. But the question has arisen. And so I think we have to go deeper. And it's not about the US versus China. It's about what underpins a world order is always the financial system. I was very privileged. My father was an advisor to Nixon when they came off the gold standard in '71. And so I was brought up with a kind of inside view of how very important the financial structure is to absolutely everything else. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have digital money. But also, this new money will be sovereign in nature. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private. But what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The US is on the brink, I think, of moving in the same direction. The Europeans have committed to that.
We're slowly making our way into this whole new world order, aren't we? I mean, first he's like, hey, let's get rid of the penny. And then we don't need nickels anymore. We don't need dimes. Hell, make it all digital. I mean, a lot of our money already is digital. How many cash transactions do people really do these days? Not very many.
NASA just released this photo a couple of hours ago, and apparently it might be evidence of ancient life on Mars. This is a pretty large rock on Mars currently being studied by the Perseverance rover, which is in an area of Mars that had running water in the past. I mean, you can see it. The rover took a sample of this rock, here it is, and found it contains organic compounds. This is where they took that sample, and these white stripes are large veins of calcium sulfate. And these veins also contain olivine, which forms from the crystallization of magma. And between these stripes are bands of what's probably hematite, which is very common on Mars, which is why it's red. But if you zoom in, you can see these white polka dots with black rings around them, which contain iron and phosphate. We haven't seen this on Mars before, but we have seen it on Earth, when there's a record of fossilized microbes living in the subsurface of a rock. The specific chemical reactions that cause these exact spots can be an energy source for microbes, which is very small life. So this one rock on Mars, found in an ancient river valley, has organic matter, crystallized magma, and an energy source for microbes. And the rover has done pretty much all of the science it can do, so scientists really want to bring this specific rock back to Earth someday for even more.
Isn't this how, really bad alien movies start? They go exploring out somewhere and find something that might be life, and then they bring it back. to our planet and then it turns into some bad stuff, yeah. I mean, it's exciting. They may have found life on Mars, but why would you bring it back? Send people out there to go science-y it. Don't bring it back. Not yet.
People are just passing over how actually disturbing it is that it just came out that in 2016, the Obama administration openly lied about the Russia election interference hoax. They coordinated with the media, knowing it was a lie, to push out this narrative in hopes of millions of people would actually vote for Hillary Clinton more than Trump. Just proves to me how much the deep state is actually real. And it makes me think of what other events happened in our history that were completely false, that we don't even know about. Don't you find it odd that people from MSNBC and now Stephen Colbert are losing their shows? And of course, Democrat propaganda is telling you that they're trying to silence them. No, don't you find it ironic that the US aid being defunded, PBS being defunded? It's super ironic to me that Stephen Colbert on every single monologue, and this goes to every single late night TV show host, would always trash Trump. It is like they were paid influencers by the Democrat Party to slander Trump, and now suddenly their shows are being canceled after US aid and PBS and all that is now defunded. The irony that this is the party out in the streets protesting No Kings, when this party is paying other people to spew lies that are completely not true, have zero basis to them, in hopes that their viewers will vote the way they want you to vote. Hello.
Hi. Yeah, we talk about this crap all the time on this channel, about all of the shady, underhanded stuff that the government does. And they're just paying everybody to keep perpetuating their narrative. And you know, it's happening on the other side too. And it's just apparently the president can't be bought because he doesn't care. Hey, we need to stop telling people that this is the way they should think and present the facts. Here are the facts. You do what you want with them.
Okay, this can't be real. How was this not worldwide breaking news when it came out? A galactic federation of aliens exists. President Trump and the Israeli government know about it, and we're working with them on Mars. This was an official news release back in 2020, revealed in an interview by a former Israeli space security chief, where he admitted that our governments are in contact with extraterrestrials from a, quote, galactic federation, and that they've specifically asked their points of human contact to not reveal that they're here, that humanity is not yet ready for full-on public disclosure. According to him, they have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. So it seems like they're waiting for our space exploration technology to get better, at which point they'll welcome us into their galactic federation. The supposed whistleblower's name is Haim Ashed, who spent 30 years as head of Israel's Defense Ministry's space security program, a highly respected professor and well-decorated retired general. This guy ain't no kook. He also said there is an agreement between the US government and the aliens. They, the aliens, signed a contract with us to do experiments here on Earth. So they're using our planet as a petri dish for what I assume is biological experimentation on us. They even have a few other cooperation agreements signed between our species, including an underground base in the depths of Mars, where there are American astronauts and alien representatives working together. All according to this guy, take it up with him. Apparently, Trump is well aware of this galactic federation and was on the verge of revealing it to the public just a few years ago, but was specifically asked not to in order to prevent mass hysteria, which I think we can all agree would happen if news like this came out. White House and Pentagon officials declined to comment on this. Kinda sketch. Ashed decided to speak out about this in 2020 as he claimed people became more receptive of extraterrestrials and UFOs by then. Which, yeah, 2020 was the year the Pentagon released their confirmed UFO videos for the first time in history, letting us know they have no idea what the f they're dealing with, which was also just 1 year after Trump officially established the United States Space Force in 2019. Maybe that was his way of hinting at something he couldn't talk about. But of course, the mainstream consensus around this guy is that he's just old and senile senile with nothing to lose, around 88 years old at the time his claims were made, and that he was just promoting his book, The Universe Beyond the Horizon, where he makes claims that include stories of how aliens prevented nuclear disasters. But this man isn't your typical conspiracy whack job like me. He is a high-ranking and well-decorated military space intelligence official with master's and doctorate degrees in aeronautical engineering. Did he just decide to tarnish his lifelong reputation by making up something like this to sell a book, or are we about to join a real-life galactic federation?
Okay, administration of transparency. Let's have it. What's going on? Are we going to be part of the Galactic Federation? Is there a Galactic Federation? Are we all just crazy inside of our brains? Probably.
Brazil just made an absolute boss move in UFO transparency and dropped the receipts on nearly 900 UFO cases. This is huge. So on May 31st, Brazil's National Archives released 893 UFO cases to be exact to the public. We're talking about sightings from 1952 all the way up to 2023, complete with photos, audio recordings, witness drawings, detailed official reports. The files were originally set to drop on June 13th, but they went live early with no warning. And there's some seriously amazing stuff inside. So I've only cracked into it just a touch, and already it's mind-blowing. It talks about cases like the 1977 Colares incident, where locals were reportedly injured by beams of light coming from low-flying UFOs. It was so intense that the Brazilian military launched Operação Prato, Operation Saucer, to investigate. There's also the 1986 Night of the UFOs, where 21 objects were spotted across southern Brazil, tracked on radar and chased by Air Force jets. So if you want to check it out yourself, there's a website you can go to. I'll list it right here. You'll need to register, but the docs...
No, that clip wasn't brought to you from the future. I understand it said the 28th and today's only the 21st, so don't worry, I think it was a typo, but that's freaking cool that Brazil's like, hey, we're in this too. Let's talk about this stuff, because alien stuff is freaking rad. I love it. I love hearing about alien stuff. My brother lives around like Bishop Mammoth area in California, and he said he saw one of those like cigar-shaped alien crafts, UFO things, and it's pretty exciting. I'm still a little jealous because I haven't seen one. I haven't even seen the stars since we've been here, because it's always cloudy and hot and humid, and I love it. I got nothing else for you. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Then come on back, because we're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.
I scroll through static in a velvet robe, aliens, clones, and lizard probes. My Wi-Fi's haunted, or so they say. Echoes of TikToks never fade away. Is that a glitch or the face of fate? Clickbait dreams on a data plate. Digital ghosts and coffee toast, we laugh with fear, we love the most when stories break and logic bends. The weird begins but never ends. Dudes with theories, hats of foil, government stealing microwave oil, flat earth maps in a donut shape, and don't forget that moon is fake. She said, watch this, then hit record. The rabbit hole's a motherboard. Digital ghosts and coffee toast, we sip the strange, we roast the host. Truth in memes or maybe lies, it's all just fun until it fries.
That lady just married a ghost pirate. No further questions.
Digital ghosts and coffee toast. Mrs. Collins knows the most. Laughs in code, lights up the screen. The strangest stuff you've ever seen.
Today's coffee talk. Always a wild ride.